Hi, my name is Emma Donahue, and today we are in Denton, Texas to talk to students, teachers, and stakeholders about their views on financial education in school.
So my name is Amy O'Keefe, and I'm the Executive Director of the Care Department at Texas Women's University. So Care at Texas Women's has a really unique function in the higher education system. So what our office does is two main things. We support students who are experiencing some kind of basic needs crisis. So that might be food insecurity, or they're struggling with housing, or they need childcare or transportation, something like that. And then the other big realm of effort in the Care office is working with specific types of students. So students who have served in the military, students who are parents, so students who have children, and then the third group is students who have experienced foster care, and that's what the function of the Care office is. So in the Care office, the most common issues that we see where students are coming to us in financial crisis are paying for school, their housing, utilities, closely followed by childcare. So when I think about the students that we're meeting that are coming to TWU and how prepared they are to understand how they navigate paying for school and their understanding of finances, I think it's more and more it's common that students are coming in with a lot of fear around debt and loans. I would not say that translates to being educated about how to manage their finances or what it all means, what the implications of all of this are, but the fear and the resistance to loans is definitely a newer trend that we're seeing very frequently. And it actually is starting to become a little bit of an obstacle because when we are talking to students about different ways to think about paying for school and the other bills that they need to cover, it's almost like they can't even hear that they may have to consider loans. And then you have to be open to learning what that means, like how do loans work? What am I committing myself to? How am I going to pay them off if you're just a hard no from the beginning? One thing students share when they come to the university is feeling like they weren't prepared. And so when we ask them, well, what would have been helpful before you arrived here and now you have to learn it on the fly, now you're feeling overwhelmed. And frequently they'll report back, if I would have learned this before I came when I'm not feeling so much pressure, then I think that my path might be a little easier at this point. So it seems incredibly helpful that we have certain things we nudge high school students to do, and the best way to nudge a high school student is through a requirement. As an example, having students be required to complete the FAFSA or TASFA in high school has been incredibly helpful. They're getting their financial aid sooner, they're understanding what kind of information they need to have to be eligible for financial aid. So that's one piece of it. But if they don't have this other context of financial education or financial literacy, then they're sort of only learning how to manage their finances just from this one little piece. And so if there was a broader course that was required, that part of that course is completing your FAFSA or TASFA and like learning about taxes and all the other things that we need to learn as we become adults, I think that would be incredibly helpful. So I think one thing that's important for people to understand when they're thinking about college students' success is that it's more than just being able to pay for your books and pay for your classes and go to school. That really to be a successful student now, you have to have a much deeper understanding of so many other things. I think there was a time probably where students could just sign up and someone else paid the checks and you graduated and off you went and the world was full of opportunity. And now students have to figure out so much more on their own. And this for students who have a solid understanding of like a deep understanding of finances, essentially personal finances, their stress is so much lower compared to a peer who has to sort all of that out on their own. So for me, financial education is more than just a tool for students to be successful and to persist and to graduate. For me, it's also an issue of equity because for these students who are really having so much more to sort out on their own, it's just another obstacle between them and graduation. And so I think it's really imperative that universities offer these kinds of tools and these kinds of offices that support this so that it kind of levels the playing field.